time to build your power team. Property is not about being a solo investor. You've got to have the other heroes around you. Here's who you need and how to find them. What is a power team? It's kind of like a synergy. So 1 + 1 = 3. And it's kind of like a car. If you think about all of the small component parts of a car, put it all together, it creates a vehicle on their own. Not really much power to it. And so in property, there's so many moving parts that you couldn't possibly become the expert in all of them. I can't be the mortgage broker and the accountant and the solicitor and the project manager and the brickie and the electrician. It goes on and on. So you need to decide what you're going to be, you're the superhero out, and gather other people. So here's who they are. First of all, let's start with finance. The geeks, the numbers people, which, by the way, are some of my favorite people. So you mean geeks as the expert. Who would be the superhero for finance? Charles Xavier. So let's start off with Charles Xavier, okay, from X-Men, if you don't know. The finance nerds, the brains behind it all. And the brains behind it all actually comes between not just the accountant, but also maybe an independent financial advisor and certainly your finance team. If the numbers don't work, everything falls apart, and you need to have somebody with an analytical brain, or what we call a steel-type personality, an analytical blue-type personality that's going to look at the data. Now, this comes in a couple of ways. Typically a well-functioned mortgage advisor, and they should be giving you direction not just on the mortgage, but based on your personal situation, should you be buying in a limited company or a personal name. Linked with this is an accountant. More than likely, if you're watching this, is probably going to be best buying in your limited company, but it really depends on your personal situation. So get your numbers crew in place first. Then you've got your Captain Americas. I'm sure you will love him. But the people that are by the book, the solicitors, these are the people that are there to protect your interests. So solicitors actually have a lot of other outlets. So for example, obviously when you're buying a property, when you're selling a property, but think about it logically. If you have got a conveyancer that specializes in investments, who do they know? Well, they're going to know loads of agents, have great relationships, probate solicitors. Maybe also they've got a decent investor list. Could you work with them on an affiliate basis where you both refer work to each other and make some money? Absolutely, you need your Captain America. Next, you need Colossus. Colossus is the Russian X-Men. If you don't know, he's in Deadpool, and he's very much... I'm not even going to try the accent, actually. So, these are your build team. Now, ideally, the reason I picked them is the big, strong, burly men, but actually, you need somebody that's actually a bit more analytical, doesn't put up with shit, because they're going to deal with builders. Now, dealing with builders, actually, I think builders get a hard rap, but the good ones are really good, and the bad ones are really bad. And often, if you're a shit client, you often attract bad people or get the worst from them. So you need a Colossus, your project manager, the person that brings in together the joiner, the electrician, the plumber, the carpet fitter, the carpenter, and everything in between. And so really you want this from day one, because ultimately they will control the team. Unless you're a qualified project manager, I don't want to be dealing with how to put the carpet, the prices, negotiating the prices on a 20 grand refurb, when my role can be going out there and finding new deals. So typically you can go on places like Checker Trade to find them, BNI's Business Network International, and of course Facebook groups, property-related Facebook groups. And it's really good to go through and vet them. Strongly recommend you go to at least 3 of their projects, one that is done, but also one that is halfway through. The reason to go halfway through is how you do anything is how you do everything. And I want to see exactly what they are doing to control that refurb, even if they're not expecting guests. Then you need the Superman, the guy that really leads from the front. Has their own weaknesses, of course, but really they've been where you need to go. They're often the strongest person, and the more you surround yourself with them, the better you become. And I am talking about your mentor. If you're watching this YouTube channel, you're obviously here because you need some form of education, guidance, and your mentor. And Yes, I'm talking about me, and yes, I realise the ego that I picked Superman, and maybe that was flawed. But genuinely, if you're watching this channel, you need some education. It might be with me, it might be with somebody else. And by the way, if you're ready to invest yourself and you just want a chilled out chat about where you're at and where you want to, get some strategic advice on how we can help you, put education in the comments below. I'd love to have a chat one-on-one with you, and it'll be me or one of my team that give you a call. So education in the chat, and I don't know if I'm Superman or Deadpool. We'll find out. The other big thing is your community. So I always say about masterminds, academies, and things like that. And the reason why is when you've just got a mentor, it's kind of like, yes, this person is sort of like, if we think about Superman, it's like, yes, there's other superheroes, but who's really comparing against him? Like, the guy's a bloody alien, right? And he's getting completely different results to what Iron Man is, and Iron Man's pretty cool. But it's like, you're not going to compare, and they're not always going to get your problems. And so you need the community around it. And this is where Avengers come in. This is where the Justice League come in. Avengers are obviously better, by the way. But you need your Avengers. You need your Justice League. It's people that are going on the journey with the same mindset, the same belief system, the same goals, the same problems, challenges, wins, losses that you can keep you on. Because I don't know about you, but when I started in my property journey, the people in my local environment, friends and family, were maybe not as supportive as they could have been. And so actually, you need to surround yourself with the best people you can. And just like the Avengers, just like Justice League, you become the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. Finally, I might upset a couple of people here. Ant-Man. Bit of a boring character, but actually, if you watch him, very integral to a lot of Marvel's story moving forward. I'm talking about the Lettings team. Why do I use Ant-Man? Well, actually a really cool hero, does a lot of stuff, gets loads of results, but you have to bear in mind that lettings are the long-term nature of your property journey, and they actually don't get the time and dedication and respect that they should. And by the way, I'm saying this as I own a lettings agency, and by far, it is the lowest appreciated, lowest paid vehicle in the property world, and the hardest to maintain. It is so important because as an investor, your longest term relationship isn't going to be with somebody that found you the property, your broker, your solicitor, or the refurb team. It's going to be your letting agency. The reality is that you need a great letting agent to box off your portfolio. Like I said, if you've been watching this and you want to find your Avengers, maybe we're it, maybe we're not. If you feel that we could be that team for you and you just want to have a chat to see if you'd fit in the tribe, as it were, put education in the comments, because not only can you go to this one place to find every superhero that you need on your property journey, you might just find your Avengers to build your portfolio and business moving forward. I was thinking about leaving this with a typical superhero cliffhanger, but I won't do that. If you want to watch the next episode of... Yeah, that actually works. If you want to watch the next episode, then watch this next video. If you're new to the channel, I just don't always do superhero references. Hit the subscribe and the notification bell. If you like this, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.